Hi, welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. Today we are making a crustless spinach feta quiche. You can absolutely buy a refrigerated crust and slap it underneath the recipe, or if you want to make your own, as I usually do, go right ahead. A lot of the times I find with quiche, you don't really need the crust. It holds itself together and looks amazing without it. So that's what we're making today for you. To get started, what we're going to do is we're going to be sauteing 1 cup of white onions on the skillet, and we're going to cook this in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Some of our other ingredients that we have today, we have 6 eggs, we have 8 ounces of feta, 16 ounces of fresh spinach, and again, if you wanted to use frozen spinach, go right ahead, get as much of the water out of it as you can though, okay? And then we're going to add just our regular spices and a little bit of milk. But we're going to cook the onions first, so let's get those going and then add spinach. Okay, so our onions are almost caramelized, which means they're slightly browned and softened. We're going to add the spinach now and cook it down. We're going to take it off of the heat then and let it cool slightly so it doesn't cook the eggs. So I used baby spinach. If you were using large spinach leaves, you'd want to chop them up a little bit. Since we're using baby spinach, that's not necessary. Also, I do remove if there's any really long stems or anything like that. I take those off as well. Just makes it so you have an enjoyable experience when you're eating it. Okay, so take the spinach off of the stove once it's wilted, and this will help it to cool faster, which is why we're putting it in a different pan. Okay. Okay, so next, while our spinach is cooling, we're going to get started with the base of it, which of course is eggs. So we are cracking 6 eggs into this. Okay, we got our eggs in here. Now, of course, we need to whisk these until they are combined. That looks pretty good. To this, we're adding a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, a half a teaspoon of oregano and thyme. I am using dried spices. If you have fresh spices, you need to at least double or triple that. Okay, next we are adding a half a cup of heavy cream. Okay, and a cup of milk. Okay, so next we are going to add feta. I'm adding 8 ounces of feta, and I bought the block. The crumbled feta, of course, then you could just dump it in, but I'm actually going to crumble this myself. So we're going to take it and crush it apart in our hands before we put it into the batter. And I'm going to get rid of my whisk. We are going to switch over to the spatula to stir it from here out. Now my oven is preheating to 350 degrees. And this quiche should take anywhere from 40 to 50, maybe 60 minutes to cook, depending on how many eggs and what size your dish is that you're cooking it in. When you're gonna know it's done is when the center is not runny anymore. Okay. Now, I like feta. If you're not a huge feta fan, you could switch this out for any other cheese, goat cheese, mozzarella, Gouda, whatever floats your boat. Okay. Give your hands a quick rinse. And then let's just give this a quick stir. Make sure we didn't miss any huge chunks. And next we are adding, of course, the spinach back in. It should have cooled by now. Ours looks like it needs to cool just a second more. And so that I don't temper my eggs, I'm going to let this sit for just a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we let this sit for just like another 5 minutes so that it cooled off. So it doesn't have to be cold, it just has to be not steaming hot. Okay. So we got all that in there. We're gonna give it a quick swirl, get it all mixed in. Voila. This is a quiche pan. If you don't have a quiche pan, you can use regular pie pan, but especially for crustless, this is a great thing to have. This is a 10-inch. We are going to spray the bottom. Okay. And that's just to prevent it from sticking when we take it out. And then let's see if we get all of this to fit in here or not. Yep. All right. I'm just going to reorganize it, make it look beautiful on top. And voila. This goes in the oven. 350 degrees. Like I said, it's going to take at least 40 minutes. I have a shallower dish. If you have a thicker dish, it will definitely take longer. And if you make it with the crust, it will take longer. So we're going to check it in 40 minutes and see if it's ready. Okay, our quiche is ready. It took about 55 minutes to cook. But look how wonderful that looks. Oh, and it smells heavenly as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece of this so we can dig right in. All right, the best part of the day, spinach feta quiche, and of course we made it crustless. If you want a crust, do it. But let's dig in. So good. you for watching What's Cooking with Rochelle, and I appreciate you watching my video. Hope you'll check out one of the others below. Bye for now.